Alrighty, so I'm going to show you how to set up the new account for Rob's new website. So basically what we do is Diesel West, you will check his website. So this is still there, there's his website. Grab his URL, start it off, so you'll go into projects after logging in and go straight in here and add new project. Put your domain in the top, always get rid of all the additional stuff there. So it's just literally dieselwest.com.au. Give it a name, Diesel West Mechanical Services, and create a project. Don't have to share it, that's just for other things if you've got multiple people looking at it. Alrighty. So now you're in, you want to start a few things. There's a lot of different options on the table. You've got site audit, position tracking, on-page SEO tracker, backlink audit. You've also got organic traffic, and you've got the link building and content. They're your main ones. Don't really worry too much about your social media tracker, poster. Brand monitoring is more if it's a big brand and you're doing a lot of outreach. PPCs if you're doing AdWords, and same with that one's also AdWords. Cool, so first things first, we'll go into our site audit. Basically got a few different options. A lot of the time you can just do the website. You can also look at the sitemap. I tend to just go with the standard. In the crawler settings, you can choose between SEMrush or Googlebot. I sometimes do Googlebot Mobile because that seems to be what a lot of people are using. Mobile is more popular than desktop these days, especially for these kind of services. Don't have to worry about that, don't have to worry about that, all that. And then you can change the schedule. I usually untick this because you get shitloads of emails. Right, now it's going to crawl. And then while that's doing that in the background, you can set up your position tracking. So usually you would have had a chat with the client at this stage. I always choose Google, and I usually go mobile now because the trend is that back in the day I would have selected desktop, but mobile is more popular than anything at the moment. To find out your location, I would go back and then have a look at Diesel West and look at what location he's based in. He's looking at Perth. So then what I would do is then have a look at the actual times and where he's actually doing. So you can do Perth. I can type, it's going a bit weird. The fuck? There you go, Perth City. You can share local or national. I always choose local because it's a local business, but if it's something where you're actually from Perth but you want the national volume, you select that. Also, this is the business name for local map pack. What you do here is copy what Google My Business shows. So here just says Diesel space West. So that's what I'm going to put in there. Alright, and this is where we chuck our keywords in. So you got your sandbox in there. This is where you just chuck a few different things. Get the option of putting tags in as well. So I can do things like Diesel West brand. That's my tag. So Diesel West is the keyword. Brand is the tag. Now, you know the difference between branded and non-branded search. I like to just get these ones a little bit out at the start. So you can get Diesel West as one word. I could put branded or just brand. It's up to you, either or, it doesn't really matter. And then you can do things like Diesel Mechanic. And you get non-brand. Diesel Mechanic Perth. And then you can do other things that are quite basic as well, like truck servicing. Truck service Perth. And if you really want to go nuts, you can go through his website. This is what takes a bit of time. I usually look at these kind of things, like trucks and trailers, servicing and mechanics. You look at his actual servicing. And then you look through his website and see which keywords tend to pop up. So mobile diesel mechanic is one you want to put in there. Save time, I'm just going to do this. organic Perth, and then I'm just going to add these to the project. That can get us started. Obviously you can do things there. I turn that off as well. As you go through it, you can actually look at Google Analytics to connect that account, and that'll tell you which ones to add. So I can do that now because I've already got access to his Google Analytics. So now I'm going to go through, add this in, allow it. Usually I'll have to do this, but I'll add you to this as well. And once that's been added, sometimes it doesn't work, so you can also import a file as well. So that's where you go in and actually export that from Google. I can sometimes also figure that out from where he's getting his clicks from his AdWords, or you can also get it from Google's Search Console. Cool, so that's also running in the background. And last but not least, in the first instance, I try and set up organic, which we just tried. Go back to the drawing board here, have another crack. Sometimes this doesn't always work, and there we go, it's not working. Classic SEMrush. Doesn't always work on the first go, and then you got to do, oh, there we go. So this is where I go. There it is, there's west. Come on, see, maybe it's in the underground. No. It's looking very good. We'll do that later. Clearly not working because I'm recording. Usually it works. Alright, so back at the dashboard, on page SEO track checker. That's where you can obviously make sure you choose Australia. So there's Australia and Perth. Sometimes you just leave it because sometimes you use going all over. There you go. So you can look at all these different things, collect the ideas. That'll take a few seconds, then you go through and filter through the shit. So remember, the biggest thing to remember, this is just a computer doing its thing. It's not always 100% accurate. So you want to make sure that you're double checking things, certain things, just like Google AdWords and other things will pop up from time to time, which are completely unrelated. So just make sure that you're checking that you're not monitoring or optimizing for a keyword that just doesn't quite exist. Alright, that concludes that part of the setup.